Okay, let's get started. First off, a little bit about me. My name is Jana Soulage and I am a digital consultant at Experian Marketing Services, and I am here to talk to you about effective customer acquisition. I specialize in helping brands identify and understand their audience, but also define a valuable customer experience that places the customer at the center of brand narrative. Some of you may notice as we go along that I'm not actually British. I am French and have been living in the UK for 10 years. I have previously worked in Paris looking after the digital projects of a leading toy retailer. As such, in this webinar, I am going to talk to you about customer acquisition and some of the techniques that help me deliver for my clients. Recently, I was involved in a project for a large global entertainment client who wished, as everyone does, to steal its competitor's customer from under their nose. But not just any of their customers, they only wanted those that matched the criteria of its best customers. Using the data available, we were able to map out a profile of the perfect customer and ran a search on Facebook to identify lookalikes in order to create an applicable acquisition strategy. While playing with such huge data sets was definitely an interesting task that led to some fairly impressive results. Not all brands are fortunate enough to have large data sets, nor the finances required readily to hand. I have worked with plenty of smaller clients that need quick and cost-efficient solutions to acquire customers. And it is these techniques, tactics, and approaches that I want to talk to you about today. In this webinar, I am going to focus mainly on email acquisition. There are evidently many channels you can use to find these customers, including direct mail, search, or PPC. But there are a few which tend to be forgotten about: your own website, your social network, and of course, your physical stores. Because of this, it is important to understand the value of the email address you collect from each channel. Which will be the easiest to convert into customers? Those that receive direct mail, or those that viewed your site? Those that saw an ad while searching shoes, or those that visited your store last weekend? You need to choose the most relevant, effective, and cost-efficient channel. Let's go through them quickly. As you can see on the table here, you have different channels. As you can see on the table here, you have different channels on the left-hand side, which are with an associated cost per acquisition and the expected customer lifetime value. Let's take a look at the direct mail, for example. I think we will all agree that this channel is very pricey due to printing and delivery cost, and because the chance of targeting someone you know knows your brand is quite slim, nor do you know if they have previously purchased from you, the lifetime value of this customer is not going to be the best. If we take a look at your website, on the other hand, making any amends to this will not be very expensive for you, and you can trust that the people on your site will have an interest in your brand. This means that they are a much better value. These techniques and tactics involved in email marketing have certainly evolved. Customer expectations are high. Modern customers demand an interesting and relevant experience. Sending the same message to everyone on your email list doesn't work anymore. I am, of course, talking about personalizing communications so that what your customers receive is more relevant to them. Research by the Aberdeen Group indicates personalized email improve click-through rates by 14% on average and conversion rates by 10%. Sounds pretty great to me. Personalization varies and marketers will give you different definitions. In my opinion, personalization relates to changing the experience of a customer in any way based on any information you have on your customers. This can vary from including a first name and an address on a piece of direct mail to gender dynamic content on a website, or even the information displayed in an email based on past purchases or behavior, for example. But in order to do these things and thereby increasing the effectiveness of your communications, you need to have the required information on your customers. You need to go beyond simply collecting names and email addresses. Let's start with the essential. Name. Collecting customers' name allows brands to create a personalized experience for the user from the very start when collected at sign-up. Email address, of course, is very likely to be the unique key to your customers and is essential to market to them via email. As we've discussed, email marketing is considered as the most profitable in terms of return on investment, as it allows marketers to enhance the customer-brand relationship, build loyalty and engagement. Mobile number. Should you wish to contact your customers via SMS, you need their mobile number. As customers are more and more mobile, we are seeing an increasing number of retailers sending SMSs for sale announcements, store opening, order confirmation, or out-of-stock messages. These communications become very relevant and very timely. Date of birth, ideal for birthday campaigns to increase loyalty and drive engagement. This information is often collected as sign-up, but may be requested at a later stage too. Just to give you an idea, I was recently involved in the development of a birthday program for a client, which achieved a return on investment of 29,000%. That was one happy client. But that's not all. Depending on your brand, you may also want to collect their address to increase the contextual relevancy of your communication. A customer's postal address can be extremely valuable to geo-target customers with communications around new stores opening with local maps, close store information, or invitations to events, for example. Sending customers geo-targeted content is going to be highly relevant to them and likely to generate much more engagement than the standard email. Some of you may be thinking that collecting a full address can be a lengthy process for customers, but it doesn't have to be. Other alternatives may be considered, such as asking for a zip or postcode, which will auto-populate the rest of the address, but if not, would suffice for geo-targeting. It is important to note that prospects may lose interest when filling out long forms asking for all of the above. Therefore, progressive profiling is advised. This advanced technique is about collecting snippets of information at the time and is a lot easier on the customer in terms of user experience. Marketers need to show customers the benefits of sharing this type of information, when we talk about gender, age, city, or preferences. A good example of this is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is consistently pushing for its users to update their skills in order for them to attract more relevant contacts or potential job matches. Okay, so now you should be clear on the sort of data you need to collect and why. But how do you actually get hold of it? Basically, there are two options. The first is to buy data from a vendor or third party, and the second is to acquire it yourself using your own assets. Buying data is immediate. You can buy data and have it at your fingertips in moments. However, it is difficult to appreciate the quality of the data beforehand. Remember that you're not trying to trick or to spam people. You want to find your potential customers. So while it is possible to buy email lists based on fairly specific audience segments, the accuracy of that data very much relies on your understanding of your audience. It is worth mentioning that buying data can be expensive, especially when compared to getting it yourself for free. Acquiring customer data yourself is hard, but is nowhere near as difficult as many people think. Here are a couple of benefits this method provides. Growing from within is much more effective. Doing it yourself is a long-term strategy. In other words, you become self-sufficient. It is 100% trustworthy. Your validation rate is going to be a lot more higher. The quality of the leads you are going to be getting are going to be good to excellent. These are leads that know your brand and have shown an interest. The customer brand relationship exists, meaning that the quality of the relationship is a lot stronger. It can be cheap. The only negative is that it may take time to collect sufficient information So start as soon as possible. I think this is where you should ask yourself if you would prefer having a list of 1 million unknown addresses that have no relationship with your brand and pay a lot of money for it, or if you would prefer to have half of that filled with people who know who you are and have at one point in their life had an interest in your brand. Imagine the difference in open clicks and transaction rates. I mentioned earlier that growing your own list isn't as difficult as many think, so this is the moment of truth. I am going to explain to you how to get your best potential customers to give you your email address. Websites. Your own website. You own your website and therefore have the ability to make whatever changes you want. There is no excuse for not utilizing it to its maximum ability. Your website is your shop window. It is the place you direct your traffic to for your various channels. Consequently, those people on your site have expressed some sort of interest and are potential customers. You need to capture their data. Here are a few ways to do it. These may be obvious, but have a think of how many you are currently doing. I will be going through a few methods and include best practice tips, so take notes as this can be extremely valuable if done correctly, as they will bring you great results. Initially, we have the quick sign-up box. The quick sign-up box is a small area on your website which allows for the registration of the subscriber in one single click. Subscribers would be asked for the strict minimum, such as email address. It is great for customers as it is the quickest way for them to sign up, as there are no barriers. There is no need to navigate around the site to sign up, meaning that it is very customer friendly, and it is usually available from any page on the site, making it very easy for customers to find it, wherever they are on the site. Marketers love this method as well, as it is very simple to set up. It really doesn't take a lot of space, and it allows marketers to collect basic, essential information in one click. A good tip I'd share today for you is to identify the pages with the highest traffic on your site using your web analytics tool. Place your quick sign-up box on those pages if you don't want to put it on every page of your site. Do ensure that the box is always placed above the fold and on the right-hand side of those pages. Note that after such quick registrations, customers should be prompted to confirm their email address with a double opt-in email to ensure the quality of the lead, followed by the standard welcome email. Another acquisition method is the Lightbox. A Lightbox is a pop-over user interface design technique typically used on a homepage, in which a regular homepage would become inoperable until customers fill in and submit the form or close the window. There are a lot of question marks over the use of Lightboxes, as some of you may be thinking already. I personally feel that they can be very powerful when created with the purpose of helping customers. An example of this would be a free delivery pop-up box in exchange of an email address. Pop-ups are often the perfect solution to marketers when the design of their website doesn't allow for a sign-up box. Pop-ups have the ability to collect a great deal of essential information in one click, making it one of the most powerful methods to collect data via a website. In terms of tips for pop-up boxes, I think it is extremely important to try and be intelligent. Find the optimum time by tracking the average page length visit on a page. Then schedule the Lightbox to pop up to be closer to the end of the page visit rather than right away. This ensures that the visitor has at least seen the content on the page and logically will be more likely to subscribe than when they first arrive and don't know much about you. Remember to only show it once for the same customer by hiding it upon return visits using cookies. Don't ask for too much information initially, only collect primary demographic data. Test timings, creative, incentives, depth, location of overlay. Don't forget to use discount on product pages to drive purchases when customers are about to leave the page. Don't forget the double opt-in, as this is also a quick sign-up method. And last but not least, remember to always consider your audience and what are they after. Are they after an offer? Are they trying to make a purchase? We then have registration pages. A registration page is a web page pre-designated for the purpose of gaining customer information at point of email address capture. Registration pages are very much appreciated by customers as they give full visibility of what information is being collected. They set expectations and therefore create trust. Having the benefits of sign-up outlined at sign-up will deepen the customer-brand relationship as customers start to understand the journey they will embark on with the brand. From a marketer's point of view, this is the perfect occasion to collect all of the necessary information in one go. There is no extra work needed to collect more information at a later stage, meaning that segmentation and targeting can begin right away. 2 quick tips. Make it enticing and offer an incentive as customers may lose interest, and avoid collecting large amounts of information. Remember that progressive profiling is much more effective these days. Next up, website checkouts. A website checkout offers a great opportunity to gather data in a moment that customers are the most engaged with your brand. You should offer them the option of signing up to newsletters by simply ticking a box, which means that they are happy for you to be using their email address for marketing purposes. They are perfect for customers, as it can be done in one click by simply unticking or ticking a box, making it a very smooth experience considering that the customer is halfway through a purchase. Marketers do recognize that having a newsletter sign-up box as checkout is the perfect opportunity to collect an email address at every single purchase. Remember that those customers are very likely to purchase again, so you need to collect their email address to ensure that they do. Addresses collected this way will have the highest validation rates, making it an extremely valuable method with an incredible return on investment. Remember to always set expectations in terms of content and frequency. This is something that marketers often forget to do, but a line or two will suffice to ensure the relationship with the customer is well started off. You could also offer a reward for the next purchase for those customers that are willing to share their details. Be aware that your customers will be receiving a confirmation of purchase email, so a delayed welcome email is often a good idea for this source. No matter the method you choose to acquire email address via your website, these are the simple 5 key rules you should not forget. Number 1, always set expectations in terms of days, frequency, and content. Make sure they are always mobile optimized. Keep your branding consistent as it is much more reputable and easier to find. Always use a double opt-in for any quick sign-up strategies to ensure the quality of your leads. Good leads mean higher engagement in the long run. And create urgency with incentives to acquire those that may not be fully committed to signing up. Let's talk about why social media has to be considered as an acquisition channel and how best to use it to acquire new customers. In the UK, we have over 35.1 million active Facebook users, over 10 million on Twitter. On LinkedIn, there are 15 million. Pinterest, 2 million. This is your potential reach. People use social media for everything nowadays. It is a digital extension of their day-to-day lives. It is used to absorb information about brands, where previous customers play a huge role in the path to purchase. With the right message at the right time, you can get closer to many thousands of those people. The role of social media for marketers has changed. Today, the emphasis has to be on encouraging, sharing, and expanding your reach. This is especially relevant in the context of customer acquisition. Factors such as recommendations and social proofing make social media a wonderful getaway to reaching customers similar to those you already have. People love to share and say things they are interested in for later. So it is important that you make it as easy as possible for them to do so, preferably with one-click sharing, whether this is in your emails or on your web content. When people share, you expand your reach. A proof of this has been the exponential growth of Pinterest and Instagram and the way it is used to save favorite products and pictures for later or to share with others. With the increasing influence of images on Twitter and Facebook also, brands are creating pages filled with images and individual products, which link directly to brand websites, allowing customers to purchase or save in one click. In addition to this, most marketing automation platforms have built-in capabilities that allow email recipients to automatically forward their email to a friend or share the message across social networks. If you have a marketing automation platform, make sure you're incorporating these capabilities in your email. Okay, let's take a look into Facebook and the role it plays in customer acquisition. Brand pages on Facebook are filled with emotionally charged content to encourage your fans to share and interact. Facebook has changed the algorithm over the past few years, meaning that not all of your fans see all of your posts. In fact, a very few of them do. However, when the few that do interact with it, your post will be seen by a large proportion of their friends. So content has to be really thought through for maximum impact. On the left-hand side, you have Facebook Connect. Facebook Connect enables fans to sign up to a brand's newsletter in one click without having to enter any of their personal details. The subscriber will be required to agree or disagree to share their details, enabling brands to collect huge amounts of information. As you can imagine, this method can be extremely powerful. Then, on the right-hand side, you have what we call promoted content. Paying to market your brand for promoted content is a valid option as it will get you quality traction. Facebook enables you to be very specific with the type of people you want to reach with your content. So instead of going for age 18 to 24 living in London, you can dig really deep into the type of people you want to target and acquire, such as those interested in cooking, who are single, and attended an event in the last 4 weeks. Use your data to see the characteristics and personas of your most valuable customers, and then focus your promoted content in Facebook on lookalikes of those customers. To give you an idea, I am currently running a social acquisition campaign for a client where we are seeing outstanding results of 3% click rates from Facebook ads. To put this into context, Google paid search ads have an average click rate of 1.6%. We are indeed expecting those clickers to be of very high value given the specific segmentation we applied at the start of the campaign. Twitter can certainly help you acquire new customers. Rule number 1, your bio should always include a link to your registration page. Any new follower will see it, so give them the opportunities to sign up to all of your channels. Straightforward posts promoting sign up are also so quick and easy to do, especially when timed well. Remember that it is important to send the right message at the right time and on the right channel. Are you noticing a lot of positive buzz on Twitter at the moment? Promote your newsletter sign up. The third tip is to ensure that you're always responding positively. Social proof means that potential customers will be looking at the way you engage with other customers in order to help them decide if they are going to engage with you. It is these sorts of relationships that will help you expand your reach. If you can expand your reach through advocacy, then you'll be positively reaching new customers. Some of you may have heard of Twitter's lead generation cards. It is a not so new feature that enables brands to send out a promoted tweet asking people to subscribe to your email list. Because Twitter already has email addresses in its user base, it is making it really simple for people to subscribe to your newsletter in one single click. This is ideal as the Facebook Connect option to enable users to sign up without having to input their email address. Lastly, promoted tweets and ads remain a great way of acquiring customers. Using the right tools, such as Social Pro, for example, will help you find and target those perfect customers and therefore increase your return on investment as you start to become smarter. Now that we've talked about a number of ways you can use your website and your social assets to boost the acquisition of customer, but how about your store? Some of you may be thinking that in-store email address collection is old-fashioned and inefficient. Writing down email addresses is painful and simply annoys customers, and it also takes weeks to get hold of the data uploaded into your CRM. Let's not mention the very poor validation rate. Fear not, things have changed. And although we are talking about in-store, I am still talking about digital strategies. Did you know that 60% of people have used their mobile phones in store? So, what does this mean to offering Wi-Fi in store? It means that you can target your customers real-time with relevant content and recommendations. But first, you need their email address. Let's get it. By offering Wi-Fi in store, you get to ask your customers to share their email address in exchange for their free service. Mobile phone operators and the cloud make data acquisition quite easy when you enter a partnership agreement with them, where the data is then shared at a small cost. With this method, you then have the ability to do some up and cross-sell by offering customers deals on their third or fifth visit, for example, using location data. Another acquisition method is to use iPads in store. Brands may wish to offer a discount in exchange for an email address while queuing or when at the till. This method is ideal for franchise partners as it allows brands to collect data. Another easy tactic is to use loyalty card scheme, Nectar being the prime example, meaning that you can collect data on new customers signing up to receive loyalty points. Make the sign-up process quick and easy, and remember that you can always use progressive profiling at a later stage. And finally, my personal favorite, I'd recommend using e-receipts when your customers may be offered an email receipt rather than a physical one. Once you have taken the email address, you can offer them the opportunity to sign up to the newsletter. This is the perfect opportunity to add value post-sale. An example of this may be an email with suggestions on what to buy next or tips on how to use the product recently purchased. All in all, the shop floor represents a fantastic way to collect email data, and if used properly, you can then nurture those contacts and develop them into repeat customers. At the start of this talk, I pointed out that I would not talk about solutions that are not quick and easy to implement. But with the increasing importance of having a cross-channel strategy, I feel obliged to touch on cross-channel. Some of you may have noticed changing behaviors in the last few years when shopping in store. We shop with our mobiles to hand, looking for product reviews, checking prices, looking for more detailed product information. From a brand perspective, success relies on bridging that gap to communicate with those customers real-time, regardless of the channel, to provide relevant, timely content. I would like to introduce the concept of linking your offline world with your online world. Some of you may have already heard the term single customer view. A single customer view is a summary of your customer relationship across different products, brands, businesses, and channels, which enables personalized multi-channel engagement. An SCV will help you capture and monitor high-quality data, but it will also greatly increase the effectiveness of your customer acquisition, as the details you collect will be more easily acted upon. We are seeing more and more brands invest into building an SCV as the benefits are vast. If you are not doing it at the moment, I would highly recommend you start looking into it soon. I think time is almost running out, so we'll keep this short so we have time for a couple of questions. Having an acquisition strategy is essential, as your return on investment can be extremely high, especially as you start to be more relevant and targeted with your communications. Always question the quality of your data you're acquiring, as it is not the size of your database that will make you profit. It is the quality of the email addresses you own and what you do with them. Finally, I have some quick wins that should help you boost your acquisition strategy, and then we'll have a couple of minutes to answer your questions. Number one, I would advise anyone who doesn't have a quick sign-up box on their site to get this done this week. It really doesn't take long, I promise. Number two, offer Insta Wi-Fi in exchange for an email address. You will be surprised by the results. Consider having an iPad at the till to start collecting email address. And number four, make sure you always measure the return on investment for each source and review the strategies each month. The webinar has now come to an end, so thank you very much for attending. We now have time for a couple of questions. So if you guys would write that down on the right-hand side, I will pick the best ones. Okay, I have a question which says, what is the definition of double opt-in? A double opt-in is a message that you would send as a sort of welcome email. So subscribers sign up to your website by providing just their email address, but there could always be an error in the email that they inputted. So you would send them a confirmation email to check that this email address is correct. If it is correct, then they would click, yes, this is my email address, and then they would be subscribed to your database. Without people clicking on the confirmation email, you could assume that this email address is incorrect and you wouldn't want it to enter your database. Just looking for another question, bear with me. Is buying data really that bad? Good question. It's not that bad, no. If you are getting accurate and profile data from a trusted provider, then you should be fine. But I personally think it is a bit of a waste not to be making the most of your assets to gather your own data as an ongoing process. Just looking for another question, bear with me. Which one has provided you with the most benefit? I think the pop-up box, and I know it is the most effective method. Just remember to try and be clever and understand what customers are trying to achieve. Is it a purchase? Are they looking for delivery info? And provide them with the answer. I have a very interesting question here, which says, we have a large data set, but of very poor quality. Would you suggest removing all data and starting new? No, I wouldn't suggest removing all data. I would suggest testing this data with a one-off. So I don't know how old you mean, but usually, depending on your business cycle, over 24 months is quite risky data, so I would send them an email asking to confirm whether they want to be subscribed or not. And anyone who opens or clicks should be kept, and anyone who doesn't should be removed, or you could attempt a cross-channel reactivation with an SMS if you happen to have this information. Okay, I'm going to pick one more question. One tactic that I should go away and do now. Quick sign-up box. If you don't have it, everyone should have it now, because it really doesn't take long to put it on your website, and it is a big wasted opportunity to acquire customers very quickly. And once it's on your website, it's there and it's never going away. I'm afraid that's it for questions, but thank you so much for attending the webinar, and I hope you learned a lot of things. You have the Twitter handle here and experian.co.uk should you have any further queries. Get in touch. Thanks very much, everyone. Have a great afternoon.